Okay, so all I'll do then, I'm just going to sit back and just watch for a little bit. I'll only intervene on the radio if I need to, so I'm going to give you a quiet ride to start with and just enjoy it. So just ease off a little bit because of that lorry stopping and the roads are wet now. So don't get too close to the lorry, try and keep some view of the road ahead open, just come in a little bit slower because there is something going on ahead of the lorry and I'm not quite sure. So bearing in mind we've had a very long dry spell and now there's some rain coming down, so we're going to find that the road surface may be not quite as grippy as it is normally, so that shouldn't put you off, but the point is just be very, very careful that you're smooth and gentle and you don't do any late braking, okay? Right, just hang back a little bit, let's just see what happens because it all looks a little bit confusing down here, so just wait back, let's just see what's going to happen. So wait until that lorry's committed and then see if you've got room to go through because we don't want to have a problem. So with large vehicles, stay well back because you do want some view of the road ahead, okay? So when you're following large goods vehicles like this, your stopping distance is going to be increased from the normal 2-second rule that you were probably trained in, because what you've got to do is try and see beyond that lorry, and the closer you are the less you see. So it is permissible to move around within your lane. I know Tony would have probably had you fairly central in your lane, wouldn't he? But we're okay to go up near the white line if it's safe. And when we talk about if it's safe, naturally oncoming traffic would dictate that, and also any junctions and driveways to your right hand side where people could emerge. So it's like where you see a vehicle come in, just move yourself away if you don't need to be out there. So remember we discussed being relaxed. Just check in. How do you feel? Are you relaxed or are you tense? And if you are tense, try and breathe. Yeah, lovely, that's great. So if you're working on that side of your body, that's going to help you. So the next thing to consciously be aware of is how are you using those controls now? Are you very, very gentle or are you using big movements? So like the throttles on these bikes, you don't need big movements. It should be very smooth, very calm. So we were talking about bends before we came out, so this is a good time when we're just following this lorry. You know, you probably can't see the limit point a lot of the time now because the lorry's blocking the view, but it's a good time to just be aware of reading the road and just having a little bit more awareness of the road itself. I'm glad that you're looking up as you described and you say you don't look at the road surface anymore, but do be aware of the road surface, but be aware of it a long way ahead. So what you want to be doing is checking the road surface out with long vision, not your short vision. Remember that the white lines in the centre of the road help you because the longer the line, the greater the hazard. And you'll also notice that if you observe tree lines, hedge lines and the position of other vehicles, they will also help you work out how sharp or otherwise a bend actually is. So from where I am, I can see there's a car coming towards us with a weird headlight, and we can see a brow of a hill, and it looks fairly dark ahead. It's quite difficult to ascertain whether the road bends left or right. I mean, we do have a motorcycle behind us, and he looks like he's on main beam, which is quite dazzling. So I glanced in my mirror and I'm almost blinded. He will probably want to overtake us, so just be aware of him. He will probably pull an overtake at some point. That's why he looked bright. He's German. So his headlight's set for the other side of the road. So here you could get out towards the white line and increase your view, because it's a lovely straight bit of road. So if you can pop out for your view for a little bit, and the hedge line there showing you clearly that the road does bend to the right. Can you see how the white lines are changing? So they're very close here, aren't they, being the hazard lines, and then they're a little bit more spaced here. Notice your warning signs there. Change of speed limit coming up with the warning of a junction to the left. So I'd guess you're probably in 4th gear at the moment. Yeah, lovely. And so for the speed we're doing on the type of road we're doing, 4th gear is probably absolutely fine. Okay, now as this road gets a bit narrower and a bit tighter, I'm probably going to go for a 3rd gear, because that's going to give me greater flexibility in response. So I'm now in 3rd, and we can see that the road's bending left and it's narrowing, so we wouldn't want to be too close to the white line here. I mean, the lorry's going to act as a little bit of a deflector for oncoming traffic, isn't it? But we shouldn't rely on that. That's it. So you should just gently be able to squeeze the throttle on and just look all the way through the bend. Squeeze the gas more, squeeze the gas more, squeeze it more, squeeze it more. That's it. Go on. That's lovely. That's just nice. That's just nice. You don't need any more now. So you've got to remember, the physical act of cornering will slow a motorcycle down. So if we're approaching a bend at the correct speed, we just need a tiny little bit of what we call maintenance throttle. It's just a gentle bit of gas just to stabilise the bike and keep it at the constant chosen speed. Alright? So just check your mirrors before you enter the bend. You might want to choose a 2nd gear for the speed you're in now. And we always like to change gear on the straight. So for my machine, I'm in 2nd gear and I can control the speed of my bike purely on the throttle. I've also chosen it because we're going down a hill, so I may not need to use my brakes, and if I do, it may only be the rear brake, because we're quite slow, aren't we? The other thing we've got to think of is that lorry, if it meets another vehicle, would it stop on a bend, because it's fairly tight? So we're going to keep well back, then you only have to brake gently. Okay, now just close your throttle and just let the bike slow into the bend, and then just use the tiniest amount of throttle just to keep the bike pulling. Come off the brake, just look where you want to go. Now just tease the throttle a fraction, just tease it a fraction. Go on, just till you feel the bike just push a fraction. Now keep the eyes up, just let it go. That's brilliant. That's fabulous. Now just close the throttle again, and then gently look through the bend, gently lean, and just take the speed exactly how you want it to be. Now gently open the throttle gently. Let's let it go, let it go, let it go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Beautiful. So if you set your bends up, you'll find them a lot more comfortable. And keep the eyes up, gently use the throttle and just let the bike take you. Go on, bit more power, bit more power, bit more power, bit more. You'll soon start to feel it, and that will give you the confidence. But remembering, keep well back from the truck, because we want to try and see the road. So can you see that we're going through a series of wiggly bends here? So even if you didn't know the road, you've got a slight view occasionally under the wheels of the lorry. You've got a slight view over the top now, and we've also got a bit of a view to the offside. Don't get too close to the oncoming vehicle. You can see the right hand bend coming into view, so a slight leftward position is good. Check the left mirror first, then you can move to the left. Keep the gas gently on, tiny bit more throttle, tiny bit more. Perfect. Eye on the bend out, don't follow the contour. If you can see it's clear, take a straight line through if it's safe. The road sign tells us it's a sweeping left-hander, doesn't it? So keep the eyes up. Now keep the throttle gently on. Put a bit more gas on, please, just a fraction more, and you'll feel the bike gently take you. Just relax, the bike will absolutely look after you. Keep the eyes up to the limit point and keep the gas gently on. A fraction more then, please, just a fraction more gas. Lovely. Can you feel how stable that is? Lean it in a little bit. That's lovely. Now you can relax and come it upright. Put a bit more gas on then. You can enjoy the bike a little bit more now. The road's opening up. So some of you may have noticed that sometimes I'm quite close to my student, and some of you might think, cool, we've had lots of chats about tailgating and 2-second rule and getting too close to the vehicle in front, and now, having said all that, you're really close to the bike in front. Well, as an instructor, sometimes we have to try and get a little bit closer to the bike in front, because sometimes we need to hear what the engine's doing, sometimes we need to see how the controls are being used, and it's not something we take lightly. But sometimes we absolutely do need to do that. Okay, so you need the right hand lane, please. That's lovely. Yeah, so at that junction there, you'd have been better off sort of being to the right nice and early to turn right at the roundabout. So I sort of covered you a little bit. So we're going to take the next exit. So we'll have a left signal, and then just make sure you put a lifesaver in before you commit to taking the exit. Hold your position, hold your position. Stick a lifesaver into the left now. Now take your position. Get across. That's lovely. Away we go. Good. So start glancing to your right so that when you join the main carriageway you can see what's going on. Early right signal to warn people. Now start looking for your gap and checking your blind spot. And then accelerate into your safe gap. Don't get too close to the vehicle in front though. Don't get too close to the HGV. Now if you want a lane 2, you can have a lane 2. If not, you'll need to back off because you're a little bit close to the lorry. Okay, so if we're going to consider getting past the lorry, because we're doing 55 on the motorway, which is fine. Yeah, okay. Always put your lifesaver in. That's great. What I would say is probably came out a little bit soon because you ended up quite close to the back of the BMW car, didn't you? So just think about creating a little bit more space. Space is what keeps you safe. So make sure that your eyes are well up that road, well up the road. So I'm looking past the second blue sign at the moment. That doesn't mean I stare there. I do keep the eyes moving regularly, but I can already see the arrows on that second sign, the third sign actually now if you like. So by looking well up the road, buys you plenty of time to react. So we will have a lane 2 in a moment, which is signposted Folkestone M20. So wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Okay, so you started to move there before your rear obs were in, which was putting you a little bit close to the Saab. So for all your lane changes, mirror, lifesaver, signal if safe, move if safe, yeah? Never allow the motorcycle to drift until you've done proper observations. Yep, so if you want to be out in lane 3 you need to get the gas on and gain that extra 10 mile an hour. Because you don't want to be in lane 3 at 60 miles an hour. Unless it's absolutely necessary. Yeah, that's it. Keep your gas on. That's lovely. Just keep it on. Just lost a little bit of speed in that slight bend there. If you just keep your eyes up, keep your throttle gently pushing, you'll be fine. Good. So as I say, my eyes are now beyond the big blue sign. I can see these signs that say end of motorway. And I can see we're going into a nice sweeping right-hander. There's no need to lose any speed for the sake of the bend at the moment. Just come slightly to your right, so you're slightly further away from the HGV, so what we would call the middle of your lane. That's it. Keep your gas on, keep it on, keep it on. You can just see the road's going to gently bend to the left. You don't need to worry about that bend, it's a very gentle one. Keeping the eyes up. Just maintain a gentle throttle so you don't slow the bike at all. Keep it going. Keep your eyes well up. Fraction more gas then please, just a fraction more because you're on a hill. Keep it pushing, keep it pushing. 5 mile an hour isn't going to hurt you. Keep it going, keep it going. Go on, a bit more, a little bit more. Lifesaver if you intend to move back to the left. Good. Keep the power on, keep the power on. Should be looking at right out the other end of the tunnel at the moment. Fabulous. Okay, mirrors, right lifesaver, right signal, then away you go. Keep your power on, you've slowed off a little bit. We need to try and maintain a 70 for this overtake. Pop yourself in the middle of your lane so you come away from the vehicles. That's lovely. Come fractionally back to your right, keep away from the heavy. Now get on the gas because the heavy is gaining on the blue one. More gas, more gas, more gas please, more gas. Go on, get past him, get past him. Lovely. Bring the eyes right to the end of the road. Look right up that road and relax. You're doing really well. Go on, keep that gas on. This is a beautiful road. You're perfectly safe. Go on, keep your gas on. Keep it on. Left lifesaver, move back to your left. Gently. Really gentle, smooth line. Perfect. Lovely. So you should already be aware of the large goods vehicle. So you should already be anticipating and planning the overtake. We do not want any reduction in speed unless there is a good safety reason. Let's start getting those rear observations ready for the overtake please. And there's another heavy in front. That's lovely, good. Smooth line, beautiful. We never want to linger next to a large vehicle. You're at 70, that's absolutely perfect. So decide, are you going to stay out? I would. There's no one too close behind us and we are gaining on him, so we just hold our position. Don't worry about the bends, they're so gentle you're hardly going to notice them. Just keep that power on and relax your body. Keep the gas on, you're just slacking off a little bit. Good, well done. Always be aware of where the slip roads join. Just have a little glance, make sure you're safe, check your mirror, that's good. remember to be very aware on your mirrors all the time. Every few seconds, little glance in the mirrors, just to keep yourself updated so you know that you're safe. Just be aware you're slightly moving towards the right of your lane with that white BMW next to you. That's where you really want to be, in the centre of your lane. Our job is to maximise safe distance from all other vehicles. At the roundabout, we'll just follow the road ahead, please. At the roundabout, we will follow the road ahead. Always making sure you check your mirrors for a change of speed limits. Let's get rid of that speed before we're at the 40. So as you approach the roundabout and the traffic lights, use your eyes to search for various lane markings, road signs, so we know exactly where we're going. So coming in nice and slow, we'll have a second before we enter the roundabout. Check your blind spot to the right, let the bike lean, don't fight it, it'll absolutely look after you. A bit more gas then, bring the gas on, let the bike take you away. Move to your left, very close to the white line there. Some lane discipline is important, and when you've got other vehicles around you, try and stick in the centre of your lane.